Hello, crafty friends. We are back from Thanksgiving break and right headed into the holidays. I'm double checking to make sure that we're live on all of our channels, on YouTube and on Creative Juice by Lonnie on our Facebook page. So, I'm using the royal hour. All right. We are doing today. I decided I wanted to try a little fun challenge from the TGIF challenges, and their challenge this week is a theme challenge. The theme is to use your favorite Christmas carol or Christmas song to create a card. So, what is your favorite? I'd love to hear, first of all, as you're tuning in, tell me what your favorite song is, your favorite Christmas song. Mine is Come Lord Jesus, and it's called Come Lord Jesus to the Manger. There's a beautiful version of it on YouTube by the BYU Men's Chorus. Absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite ones. We sang it in church last year for our Christmas service, and it is just divine. Just divine. So let's see. I think I need to get, I don't know if I've got my, all right, let's see if I've got my other. Yeah, yep, we're good. See if we can get our other video in here. Yep, here we are. All right, so now we're ready to do some stamping. These two are finished ones, and I'm going to show you the finished ones first, and then I'm going to do a different version of it, and I'll tell you why. Let's make one bigger. This one bigger. Okay, so this is a very simple fun fold. It's just basically a pop-up fold. Is 5.5 by 4 inches flat, so it fits into an envelope. And then when you open it, it opens up like this. Now, this version is done with the Oh Holy Night Designer Series paper that is now gone. It is all gone. But if you happen to have some, maybe you had one of my beautiful things here. I don't know if I should show you this. One of my or paper shares, that's what I'm looking for, from the December mini catalog. You may have some of this paper, and you may have some of the other paper that I'm about to show you. I do happen to have 2 of these left. However, they are missing the All About Autumn Designer Series paper, but there is a 6x6 sample of every paper in the mini catalog. So if you would like one at a discounted price, because we don't have the All About Autumn paper in there, I do have 2 left. If you're interested, you are welcome to get it. It has everything from Halloween, Christmas, every day, all of that. So including some of these little pieces that you could use to create a card like this. There's also some of the Joy of Christmas, and let me show you that one, because that was what I was intending to show you today. Then I double checked and found out that it's also gone. So the Joy of Christmas paper is also in the sampler pack, and I used these 2 pieces, the backside, to create the manger scene here. And then I didn't even put any pieces right here. But on the backside, you can write or you can stamp. So Silent Night is Carlene's favorite one. So this one would also work this card would also work for Silent Night. And I'm going to create a background similar to this one for our new one. So I used the Joy of Christmas specialty, or Joy of Christmas paper, to make my second one. And now we're about to make a third one, a third version. So those were the first two that I created. We're going to show you how to create a third version with something that is still available. However, they will be much of our catalog, our current mini catalog, is retiring, and we have a last chance sale going on for many of the items right now. So today I'm going to use the Night Divine bundle. That is, let me show you this before we get stamping. And it is still available, thank heavens. I love anything with words, but the fun thing about this bundle is that it comes with all of these beautiful kind of religious type sentiments, and it comes with dies that cut out. So it has this die for the manger, and it even embosses a little bit of wood texture when you cut it out. And it has a camel and some sheep and not an oxen, donkey, a cloud, and of course the Holy Family that we're going to use right here. I would sing the song to you today, but I've been nursing a cough for 2 weeks that just does not want to go away. So I'm not going to sing my come. Well, I could almost do it. Come, Lord Jesus, to the manger. Whoa. Yes, not working today. Not working today. But hello. Hi, Elaine. I'm glad you're here too. Okay, so I have a piece of 11 inches by 4¼ inch piece of cardstock. I'll show you the places that you're going to score it. And you can score this on Simply Scored. That's what I'm using. I love my Simply Scored board. Can't live without it. Or you can score it on your paper trimmer. So you're going to score it at 2 inches, 3 3/8 of an inch, 7 5/8 of an inch, and 9 inches. Okay, let's do that. 2 inches, 3 3/8. That's the notch just below 3.5, just before 3.5. 7 5/8, which is just the notch right above 7.5, and then at 9 inches. All right. And I am using Wild Wheat. Wild Wheat was not my favorite color to start with, but I've discovered that it substitutes beautifully for a gold color. So our other twos are kind of similar. Other two samples were kind of silver and blue, but we're gonna see what happens with this one. Okay, let's take our outside folds and just burnish them with your bone folder. Okay, making sure that that is straight. Okay, you pull them in, put towards you. Now you open it back up and you're going to fold the next two backwards behind that card, behind the card. That creates a base that is, so I'm pushing that one up, 4¼ by 5.5, which fits into our envelopes. So there's your base. And it kind of pops up. It looks like this. So let's stamp our sentiment on the back first. We'll use Isaiah. This one says, because I don't have a Come Lord Jesus to the Manger stamp, I will use this one. Couldn't have said it better myself. Actually, you know what I want? I think I want a piece of, let me show you my two versions of the other one. So this one right here, I just stamped directly onto the back. So that's what I did with this one. But I think I want to have a layer here. Like this one has a Very Vanilla layer. Oh, I do love my Very Vanilla. Do I have a piece that's still available here somewhere? Why, I think I do. Let me cut it. One of the reasons that I'm off camera. One of the reasons that I have these measurements is because the layer that you need on either side is going to be 4 inches by 4 inches, which is fantastic if you are using designer series paper. So you need a layer on both sides, 4 inches by 4 inches. This one is going to be our back layer. Let's see if I can stamp it straight. So I'm doing it in Cherry Cobbler. Oh yeah, I think that's going to look pretty. Pretty. Move that off to the side for just a moment. This is the back side where you could add a sentiment or a greeting or whatever you'd like to do. And the paper that I'm going to use, you don't have to use designer series paper. You could use a embossing folder. You could make your own. You could stamp your own. In fact, I think it's called Merry Melody embossing folder would be really cute since we're talking about Christmas carols. But I'm choosing to make this very simple today. I'm going to use, clean up, try not to make a mess. I'm going to use this one is called Joyful Specialty Paper. And it has the little piece of gold music, as well as this piece right here, this gold wood grain. So we're using that. So on the front of our card, we're going to make a piece that goes here. And then I've cut these two little pieces of the melody for the sides. So let's put those on while we're doing it, because it really is an easy design, especially if you were lucky enough to get some of the paper beforehand. Hi, Christy. Who else is here? Anybody else? So we're making a card based on your favorite Christmas carol, which is the challenge for the TGIF challenge this week. I love a good challenge because it really stretches your creative muscles, gives you some creative confidence to try something new. So if you decide to do this, go over to TGIF, I think it's called TGIFchallenges.com, and then share your version of your version of a card from your favorite Christmas carol. Mine is Come Lord Jesus to the Manger. Okay, so you've got that. Looks like this. This is what it looks like flat. The next thing I'm going to do is I've taken a piece of, I know it doesn't look like it's going to work, does it? But it really will. This is Azure Afternoon, another 4-inch by 4-inch piece of Azure Afternoon cardstock. And then I'm going to take, set this out to the side so I don't get it all inky. You can see that I've already done some because my fingers are blue. Well, hello, Carol from Connecticut. I'm so glad you're here, a new fun stamping friend. Are you a new stamper, seasoned stamper, demonstrator? Tell us all about yourself. We'd love to hear that. And tell us what your favorite Christmas carol is, because that's what we're doing, is a card based on a Christmas carol. So I'm going to start off the edge and kind of move in towards the middle so it gets lighter as I get in towards the middle, darker around the edges. This part, when you're making your own background, takes a bit of time, but it's worth it. I like to kind of dab off to the side so I don't get a big round circle of color onto my paper. And then I want it to be lighter as I go in towards the center. So I'm going to do that right around the center like that. Then come back out and add a little bit more ink. Oh, what child is this? This would be, well, you and I have been around for a long time. I probably have met you before then. Sometimes I get thrown off by not seeing your face, which I'd love to see too. All right. So I'm just kind of going around the middle here, making sure that the edges are really dark. I want that nighttime sky to be there for me. Getting lighter as we go to the center. And I'm leaving just a little tiny piece of that Azure Afternoon peeking through, because that's where our star is going to go. Again, I will show the other ones if you were lucky enough to get some of the Designer Series paper. I do have, as I said, 2 sampler packs left. If anybody would like a sampler pack, just message me. Okay, so we've got kind of that nice nighttime look on our paper. That is going to go on the front of our card like so, like thus. But before I do that, I want to put this piece on so I can trim off the bottom. So I'll use my liquid glue. As I said, I think that the Merry Melody embossing folder, which I would show you, but I lent it to a friend because we're doing a card class in Cedar City this week, and she needed it for her card. So I may have to make another version later. I don't know, but it would be really cute to have some of those panels on here too. If you didn't have Designer Series paper, just emboss it. Okay, so we've got the stable. The stable is stable. All right, so we've got Silent Night and What Child Is This? Who hasn't commented with their favorite Christmas carol? What stamps would you use to create a card from your favorite Christmas carol? Would you use this Night Divine set or something else that we have? Okay. Pardon me. So we've got pieces coming together. Let's glue this front panel here. Okay, there we go. So you can kind of see it coming together. I think it's looking beautiful. I love it. Let's cut out the family. Now, if you were making a couple of these, you do this in an assembly line style. You'd cut out all of your, I'm going to put that, take this one off, sorry, so you can see if you need to order anything. So you'd cut all of your pieces first and then assemble it together. So that's what you would do. I'm going to use another piece of cherry cobbler here to cut out my Holy Family. I should have the music playing in the background, but I'm not sure what Facebook would do if I did that. If they'd be like, hey, you can't have that music on here. So go look it up. Come Lord Jesus to the manger. Find the one with the BYU men's chorus. So beautiful. We're going to just poke out a couple of these pieces. You can use your other thing. Your poker. Anything that pokes. Right, and I think I want a little bit of cherry cobbler ink along the edges here. We're just going to do a little bit. Just to give it a little shadow. Maybe down here a little bit. Probably doesn't make a big difference really, but I wanted to, so I'm going to. All right, so it's going to go here. Then you would use, I'm just using one of my old, actually, before I do that, I'm using two old things. You may have other things that you can use instead. I'm going to use an old gold ink pad. You can emboss it with a Versamark pad and some gold embossing powder, but I wanted this to be very subtle on the front. So I want it to say peace, joy, and peace. Let's see if I can stamp it straight. Oh, looking over the top of my camera. Oh, well, sort of straight. Close enough, right? And then right there where that light part is where I want a star to be. So I'm going to make my own. I'm not even going to cut it out. I'm going to just draw it. So you'll want a tall line this way, almost that tall this way, and then two small lines like that through as an X through there. Then you can add some stars just with dots randomly. Okay, I think we got it. Let's see if you can see that when I pull it up. All right, let's see. Before I pull it up, let's put on our family. Now, this Encore pad or a white, you could use white if you had. That's what I used on the other one. Was just our white pad or white. It's called something. It's called a Whisper White Craft ink pad. That's what I used on my other two samples that I'll come bring back in just a moment. But I'm using this one to show you that you don't have to have the designer series paper it came with to create a beautiful card. Okay, Mary's sticky stuff isn't sticking on her. I'm using some mini black dimensionals. They just seem to kind of blend into the background a little better. Oh, Christmas tree. That would be the merriest trees. That's perfect. Very perfect. Hello, Sherry. I don't know if I met you either. Welcome, and tell us what your favorite Christmas carol is and which stamp set you might use. Okay, This one is Come Lord Jesus to the Manger. Look how pretty that is. Can you see the little glittery stars up in the joy and peace? It actually turned out really pretty nice, I think, on that wild wheat. What do you think? So there it is. It opens up like that. You could add an extra panel. These two panels are 1 3/4 inches by 4 inches. These panels would have to be a little bit smaller. I think they were, you'll have to measure it, but 4 inches by 1 and a smidgen, 1 and a smidgen. That's what I would call it. If you wanted to fill them in, but you're not really going to see them. Like if you're standing it up, you don't really see that side. Now, if you pulled it out, you might. And here's the one that I did with the Oh Holy Night Designer Series paper. As I mentioned, you may not have, this one's not available anymore, but if you have it, it makes a beautiful card like that. And then I also used another retired one here with the Joy of Christmas paper, and I used the Melody paper there. And then I used the back of one of the papers to have the wood grain panel on the stable. But if you notice right here, you can kind of see if you just cut the paper or cut the stable out of cardstock, you're still going to have this wood grain because it embosses it at the same time. So there is 3 different versions of the same card. And that's the one that I have, that we have using things that we still have, except you may want to emboss your joy and peace if you don't have a gold ink pad. If you do, it's still wet, so you want to go back and you may want to hit it with a heat tool, just so that you don't smear it, which I did a little bit on my first one, but not too bad. So joy and peace on that side, it opens up like this. Thanks, Christy. I'm glad you like it. And then on the back, we have Isaiah's words. So don't forget to check out, if you're interested in any of the products that I've used here today, you can go right to creativejuicebylani.com, click on shop now, and you can order any of these items that are still available. And of course, check out the things that are in our last chance sale, which goes until, I think, January 3rd or 4th, while supplies last. All right, that darn old cough just does not go away. I don't know how long it's going to stay, but I will be back next Monday. We'll be doing a few quick things to wrap up the holiday season. I know it's still going to be the beginning of December, but you should be getting things wound up so that you can enjoy the season. Go do all the fun things that you want to do. Oh my God, no wonder it's kind of just drooping there. My camera was drooping a little bit. So we'll be doing some creative stuff. And thank you, Carol, for saying that they're beautiful. And Sherry, you're new to my channel. Are you a crafter, Sherry, or a demonstrator? But I'm glad you're here. I'm in southern Utah, by the way. It's a beautiful sunshiny day. We're going to get up to about 50 something, I think. So we're going to enjoy that. But we'll be back next Monday here on YouTube and on Facebook with some wrapping up the holiday ideas to wrap up those gifts. And if you have any questions for me, just shoot them into the comments below. I'll come back and answer them. Thanks for joining me. Glad you're here. Glad that we are able to share a little bit of creativity. We'll see you next Monday.